Hi there everyone, and I have another very interactive and a very beautiful chess game to show you. In this chess game we have Vladimir Kramnik with the white pieces and his opponent Loek van Wely, Dutch chess grandmaster, with the black pieces. So this chess game was played in 2008 in Dortmund, Germany. So let's see what happened in this fantastic and a very interactive chess game. So we have the Slav defense, Queen's Gambit declined. So developing the pieces, and let's skip to the critical moment of this chess game. So we see normal developing moves, developing the queen, placing the rook to the d file, queen over, and in this position capturing the knight is not possible because of capturing back. And if defending this knight, you can see that white is showing teeth with his queen and also with his bishop on h7. So queen takes on h7, and then black is not going to survive. So this is why Van Wely played a prophylactic move, h6 and then f4, and this is extra defense to the knight and cementing the knight. So bishop to b4 and defending the knight and placing the knight on f3. So knight in, and Kramnik is simplifying the game, rook takes and then giving up. First he played knight to e5. After defending the rook, he is giving up the bishop. So giving the bishop pair to his opponent. And what did Vladimir Kramnik achieved with giving up the bishop? But in this position, this is very interactive because we can say that Vladimir Kramnik has the good knight against the bad bishop. And why this bishop is so bad? Because it is not firing at anything. Even if black somehow pushes the pawn and frees his bishop, this bishop is not going to attack at anything. It is not going to fire at anything because of his own pawn. Which is funny, on e4, and the bishop is only going to hit his own pawn. So this bishop is so ineffective, and white has a pretty powerful knight which is controlling some of the important key squares. But on the other hand, Vladimir Kramnik also has the same problem. His bishop is not hitting at anything. So we can say that both players has similar problems. But this bishop has potential because as you can see, white bishop is not hitting his own pawn. If, let's say, pushing the pawn, only the knight is going to block the bishop, but we can move the knight. But you can't actually easily move this pawn, which is not possible. So we can say that Kramnik's bishop has potential, but this bishop doesn't have any potential. So this is deep, this is grandmaster level thinking. So this is why guessing the next move of Kramnik could be tricky. What would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? So how to actually activate this bishop, and can you see an important move in this position? Not many people can guess this move. But it is also not so complicated. So let me give you a few seconds. If you want, you can also pause the video and try to guess the next move of Kramnik. Well, actually in this position, I can also say that there are some pleasant choices for white. For example, pushing this pawn and trying to open the f-file when you have this superior position. That is also possible. But Kramnik played a very beautiful idea. He played c5, so his idea is to trap this bishop, and this is very forced. Black has to capture. And then, as you can see in this position, pushing the pawn is possible. And where is the bishop going? Pushing the pawn, a3, if bishop to a5, then b4, and black can say bye-bye to the bishop. So capturing the pawn and then a3 by Kramnik. So this is forced, and then capturing the pawn. So this was the idea. He is threatening to push the pawn, b4, and trapping the bishop. So this is also forced. Queen takes on c5. But in this position, white has such a superior position. Even rook back is not going to work. Okay, this is going to give some space, some room, some breathing space to the bishop. But then queen to g3 by white. As you can see, this position is almost unplayable. The bishop and the queen is showing teeth to the king. So defending this is going to be extremely tricky, especially against a super strong chess player like Vladimir Kramnik. So, but okay, in this chess game we have queen takes on c5, but simply b4, forking two pieces. But Van Wely, he tried queen to b5, and this is actually the only move which doesn't lose immediately. Queen to b5, because in this position, if capturing the bishop, then queen takes on b2. But you might also ask what happens if queen to c2, attacking the bishop. What would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? So if saving the bishop, for example, then black can also save the bishop, I think. Okay, it is very simple. Rook to f2, and after defending the queen, let's say queen to a4, we can capture the bishop. Both pieces is under attack, so this is attacking the queen and also defending the bishop. And in this position, this is why we have queen to b5. And if queen to b6, now can you see what happens? Again, you can take the bishop because of queen takes on b2, but there is a very strong move in this position for white. Okay, knight to c4, forking the queen and the bishop, and black is losing the piece anyway. So this is losing again. So this is why in this position, after b4, queen to b5 is basically the only move. But Kramnik played queen to g3, lining the queen with the king, and black is saving the bishop, and it is white to move. Kramnik played knight to d7, liberating the bishop and threatening checkmate. So we have g6 defending the checkmate threat, but the knight was positioned perfectly, giving check to the king. We have king to f8, not king to h8 because of knight to d5, check with the bishop, and also forking the bishop and the rook. So we have king to f8, and then bishop to e5, perfectly positioning the bishop and also attacking the rook, defending the rook. And we have queen to h4, attacking the pawn. If capturing the pawn, this is going to be a disaster. So we have h5 and then checking the king, knight to h7. We have king to e8. King to g8 is out of questions because of queen to f6 and how to defend the checkmate threat. Queen takes bishop is the only defense, giving up the queen, and there is no defense. So we have king to e8 and then bishop to d6, threatening checkmate, queen to e7. Well, the only defense is with the rook actually, and not even capturing the rook, improving the position like this, because this bishop is so superior. Bishop to d8 is not going to work because check, only defense, and queen takes on f6, and black has to give up the rook anyway because there is no defense. How to defend? The king is stuck. And you're going to lose the rook without getting some material back. In this position, this is even worse. So rook to c7, but there is no need to rush and capture the rook. Kramnik played rook from f to d1, and this position is unplayable for Loek van Wely. This is how the 14th official world chess champion Vladimir Kramnik defeated his strong opponent. So let me show you the possible continuation. Even if bishop takes pawn check, we can move the king. And this position is zugzwang for black because you can't move the king, you can't move the rook, you can't move the queen, you can't move the bishop. It's all over. So I'm only going to move a pawn, which is going to be a ridiculous move, just to demonstrate how this position is unplayable. Knight to f6, check, moving the king, the only move, and then we have check, discover attack, and then king moves, check, queen takes. And what would you do in this position? Bishop takes rook, or is there something else? Okay, I hope you have seen bishop to c5, and that's double threat, threatening checkmate, queen to d8, and also attacking the queen at the same time, and there is no sensible defense in this position. So you can see that only in just few moves, it can easily go to the south for black, and there is no sensible defense in this position. So after rook from f to d1, Van Wely resigned. He didn't want to fight a losing battle. So thank you very much for watching. I mean, what do you think about this extremely interactive, beautiful chess game by Vladimir Kramnik? Thank you very much again. Stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.